Now, I've been thinking about this for a very long time, and I think it's finally time I took a look at a toy line that I grew up with. This one has to be one of my top favorites. Well, me and many others that are around my age. See, I'm a 1982 kid, which means I walk a blurry line between 80s and 90s kids. I fall into that category of kids that remembers what 80s kids remember, but also get the best of the 90s before growing up and graduating high school around the year 2000. This toy line is a lot like myself. We were born in the 80s and flourished in the 90s. I'm talking about the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toy line that began in 1988 and ran for 9 years until 1997.
Anyone remember where we parked? From Playmates!
The Battle Commander for the Turtles! Leonardo leads, and he's gonna be leading this project. Leonardo started off as a turtle with the red bandana. Actually, all of our heroes in a half shell started off as a turtle with the red bandana. Later, Leo would become the turtle with the blue bandana. He is known for using his dual katanas, or sometimes ninjato. I mean, since katanas are curved and ninjato are straight. The ninjato is a product of the 80s, thanks to Sho Kosugi from the ninja films by Canon. Leonardo is named after 15th century Renaissance artist Leonardo da Vinci. The sculpt of the turtles were inspired by the comic book. That's why they look so different than their cartoon versions. I mean, they aren't exact, but you can see the influence. A reproduction sales flyer from the 2009 New York Comic Con surfaced where we can see early versions of the Turtles and the Foot Clan. Leonardo looks like he had ball-jointed shoulders, and that's pretty sweet. We can even go further back, and in Peter Laird's blog, he shows screen captures of what the figures might have looked like. This one I'm going to say is Leonardo, even though he could be Donnie. This style is much more reminiscent of Masters of the Universe, and they had a cloth mask with markered-in eyes. Peter Laird thought that it didn't look very good, and when they saw the Donatello prototype, they went with it, and well, we got the turtles that we know and love today. Sort of. But that's another story for other turtles. Just like all of the 1988 Turtles, they were originally released with soft heads, which means that their heads were made from soft rubbery plastic, a la Masters of the Universe. Later, they would be re-released as hard head variations, just like in Masters of the Universe as well. These two lines mirror each other. While Masters of the Universe mainly had soft heads, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles mainly had hard heads, making the soft head variations of the first wave of TMNT figures much more desirable. I prefer the look of the soft head turtles. They aren't as shiny, and they have a soft texture to them. The soft head turtles also came with a form to join the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan club. Now today, we still have a form of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan club. Except now, in 2018, it's called the Sewer Squad. Finally, after all these years, I'm going to join the Ninja Turtles fan club, or the Sewer Squad. No, Ma, I'm not going to join the Ninja Turtles fan club. I know, you said it before, it's way too expensive. I don't know if you guys ever had this problem before, but my parents were always telling me that kind of stuff was too expensive, and then years later, I find out that it's not. Well, I'm finally going to join that fan club. Finally, after all these years, I'm part of the Ninja Turtles fan club. No, Mom, I didn't join the Ninja Turtles fan club. Yeah, it's because you said it was too expensive, remember? Let's look at Leonardo's articulation. His head can move from side to side. His arms can go all the way around. He has a swivel on each of his forearms. And he has ball-jointed legs. Now let's take a look at his features. So before I start with Leonardo, I must say that all the turtles have the same turtle design. Please excuse my Donatello. I can't really take his belt off. It seems like the plastic has kind of melted together. But we can see that these scratches on the shells are exactly the same on all 4 of the turtles. So that must mean that all of them have the same torso. Now Leonardo has a blue bandana and his eyes look kinda sad, and he is showing his teeth on his left side. As we go down, we can see that he has a yellow front and he has elbow pads. He also has wristbands and knee pads. Now Leonardo comes with a lot of the same accessories as the other 4 turtles. They all come with the turtle fist daggers. I know they look different, but that's what they're called on the back of the card. A kama, a weapons rack that is almost always tossed out because it just acts as a weapons tree, and 2 ninja stars. What? I'm a product of the 80s. We called them ninja stars. Leonardo's unique weapons are his dual katana blades that have very thin blades. He also comes with a belt that has 2 straps that crisscross around his chest and to his back. And it has a yellow letter L on the front. I actually have a carded vintage hardhead Leo. I don't have very many carded turtle figures, but I do have the fearless leader in this card. Let's read the portrait of Leonardo. The battle commander for the turtles. Weapons, katana blades, turtle fist daggers, ninja stars, and kama. Birthplace, McMahon's Pet Emporium, Chesapeake Bay. Height, 5'1" on 2 legs. Age, 16 years. Weight, 155 pounds. Shell, bulletproof and shock resistant. Like his Florentine namesake, Leonardo is the perfect turtle. In the littlest eyes of his allies, he is known as the unofficial commander of the Turtles and Splinter's star pupil. Because of his keen eyesight and sensitive hearing, Leonardo is extremely well balanced, which makes him more skillful when wielding his ever-flashing katana blades. No matter how dangerous the situation, Leo doesn't mind sticking his neck out. His primary objective in life? Cut Shredder down to size. McMahon's Pet Emporium in Chesapeake Bay. I also have the Palladium books, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Other Strangeness, that was published in 1985. This is one of the first licensed products of the franchise. Since I believe that the original 2 waves of the toys were based on the comics, let's look at the personal profile from this early book. In the absence of Splinter, Leonardo is the leader of the Turtles. He is a take-charger kind of guy who can size up a situation quickly. He excels at making plans that are complicated yet clearly constructed and most always work. He is also a perfectionist, a trait that gets him into trouble. Leonardo performs his task with an efficiency that many man or turtle would be proud of, but there are times that he sees it as a source of shame and a loss of face. He is always trying to live up to the ideal of his mentor, Splinter. Unfortunately, he has never really absorbed one of Splinter's most important teachings, that it is honorable to strive for perfection, but it's alright to occasionally fail to reach that goal. Leonardo also feels this loss of face when the other turtles do something wrong. He feels responsible for them and their actions. Of course, because of this, he goes nuts over Raphael's rage and craziness. Leonardo is perhaps the smartest of the turtles, at least in an all-around intelligence. He's a voracious reader and has a very good memory. His favorite weapon is the sword, though he is skilled with all weapons and techniques. Leonardo is the oldest turtle at 16 and a pretty solid figure in his portrait card, as the artist he's named after, when standing, and figuratively all around. He has a cool looking head sculpt. You might think that they all look the same, but the turtles have different variations to them. Although Leonardo was my favorite as a kid, as I got older, I grew to enjoy the other 3 turtles because of their different quirks. Leonardo is the most vanilla of the 4 turtles, and even though this is true, he still brings a lot to the table. He shows balance, and in the end, isn't that what we need from a martial artist? And, you know what? My favorite flavor of ice cream is vanilla, so Leo's alright with me.
Neon Night Riders.
In the lidless